Hello, stream.
What are we celebrating?
Somebody's excited.
I'm always right, guys. Just remember that. What did I say when I got on stream? It has nothing to do with all of Garrett's hard work. It has something to do with my comment. Right, guys?
That's right.
Just teasing.
Ow. Oh, God.
Super proud of you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yerrin, guys. Yerrin. How long? We're not going to go there.
How long is it going to take me? We're definitely not going to go there.
No, I was going to say, she's psychic. I read that as psychotic for some reason. It's too early in the morning for me. You would be right. Anyways, I'm super excited. You guys are in for a treat. We're going to have the first new book since September or August? September.
Sure. I thought Where Mage came out in August.
No, Where Mage came out in September because you were writing it over my birthday. That's how I remember things. I'm just kidding. But we're not going to do that, okay? Because Yerrin's happening right now. And then pre-orders will go up after the book is done. Super exciting, right, baby?
Very exciting.
Woo!
After the book is done.
After the book is done. Woo! Did I say woo?
You did say, you did.
Woo!
You did say woo. Yeah, we're not talking about that deadline. We don't talk about the deadline. I have to go post in the Facebook group because I said that when I started work on the new book, I was going to do that. Oh, but first, before I do that, just so people don't show up and get like super confused, I'm going to create the Scrivener document. Ugh. New project. Blank. Hey, Adam Jump, welcome. Yeah, we are starting a brand new novel, and it's a bit momentous because we haven't started a new novel in a long time. We've been doing a long project of repairing and restoring all of my existing books, and this is kind of a big deal. So I've been getting a little bit emotional. People have been getting a little bit excited. My wife in particular is very happy. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Oh, Carl. No, that was past Garrett. Brand new and improved Garrett doesn't do stupid shit like that. Oh. I have to pull out the snowflake method. Been so damn long since I looked at it. Oh, I'll always find a new stupid thing to do. New and improved Garrett has glasses, so he's smarter and doesn't do stupid shit. Oh. Ugh. The hype is real. Usual warnings apply. Usual warnings apply for people who don't like spoilers. I won't say spoilers, but spoilers will be on the Scrivener document, so suggest not to look. Yeah, well, Haley, my normal process is I do the snowflake method up to step 4? Six. I take the snowflake method up to step 6, and then I translate that into the Save the Cat Snyder beats. That's the way I work. Oh, tips for streaming? I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing on streaming the writing. I just kind of put it all out there. Know what works and what doesn't work for you. And so if it works for you to interact with chat while you're working, then do that. And if not, then try and keep yourself more focused, I suppose. Oh, I forgot it was Pi Day. All right, Liz. Thanks for dropping by. This is exciting. Hello, Cade? Oh, thanks, Cade. Appreciate that. Pacifist thieves used to capture a sadistic merchant. Some people just have to die. What do you mean, not Garrett? What the hell, Liz? Kidding. Have fun with your kids. Have fun with snow. I think that's a pretty good one line. Oh, that's so shitty. Um, How do you know what gets in our world? What gets in our world gets to be the norm, and what is new and magical in the new world. I'm not. I'm sorry, Kate. I'm not sure I totally understand. um, I mean, I think you have to start with you have to. I think for any otherworldly fiction, by which I mean fantasy or sci-fi that specifically doesn't deal with like space opera sci-fi as opposed to like sci-fi that happens on Earth or whatever, you have to start with some basics that relate to the real world, because otherwise your reader has nothing to relate to. So you start out with the basics, and the basics, what your basics are, is usually what you your basics is basically what you want to, I guess, write your story about, uh, or what you want to talk about. So, like, if you want to tell a story about, if you want to tell a story that has to do with, I don't know, soldiers and war, like you want to tell a war story. Okay, so then you start out with, okay, how do armies work? How does war work? How has warfare happened in the past? How does it happen? How does it happen now? How might it happen in the future? And then you translate that into your story world. And then the extra stuff, the cool magical stuff, you add that on top to say something about the story. Or to say something about what you are talking about with your story. By the way, for anybody who, it's not a stupid question, Kate. You're all good. For anybody who has forgotten, although I talk about it all the time, so the Nightblade Epic Volume 1 came out last week, and now, today, guess what else came out?
Her axe fall, and the log split with the sound of a skull cracking open. She heaved a sigh and hoisted the axe to her shoulder. One hand rose to wipe sweat from her filthy brow, streaking it with dirt. She surveyed the pile of logs that awaited the kiss of her axe. There were many, far too many, if she had any hope of going to the village dance that night. Look.
Woo! I'm excited. Oh, thanks so much, Cade. I really appreciate that. Pop off a message to you really quick. So you can start enjoying all of the Patreon stuff. There. That's it. That's the one. Okay. Step 2, take another hour and expand that sentence to a full paragraph describing the story, setup, major disasters, and ending of the novel. This is the analog of the second stage of the snowflake. I like to structure a story as 3 disasters plus an ending. Each of the disasters takes a quarter of the book to develop, and the ending takes the final quarter. I don't know if this is the ideal structure, it's just my personal taste. If you believe in the 3-act structure, then the first disaster corresponds to the end of Act 1. The second disaster is the midpoint of Act 2. The third disaster is the end of Act 2 and forces Act 3, which wraps things up. It's okay to have the first disaster be caused by external circumstances, but I think that the second and third disaster should be caused by the protagonist's attempts to fix things. Things just get worse and worse. You can also use this paragraph in your proposal. Ideally, your paragraph will have about 5 sentences. 1 sentence to give me the backdrop and story setup. Then 1 sentence each for your 3 disasters. Then 1 more sentence to tell the ending. Don't confuse this paragraph with the back cover copy for your book. This paragraph summarizes the whole story. Your back cover copy should summarize only about the first quarter of the story. It technically doesn't matter since it's just for me, but now that you've mentioned it. It's all right. Oh, I have a lot in my head about this novel. I have a lot. Yeah. I have more in my head about this novel than almost anything I've ever written before. Before, not in the future. I have a lot more in my head for the first book of Quest. Yeah, well, okay, so I guess you are you relatively new, because this is um I'm sorry, when you mentioned my YouTube video from yesterday, I kind of just assumed that you knew about knew who I was and all that sort of stuff. So this is actually book 6 in a series that I have like I've already written 5 books in this series. Um so like I am going to do more character work, more development and everything like that. But like these characters have 5 books of oh, got you. Okay. Yeah, no. So like these characters have 5 books of stuff already. In fact, you should go check out the first book, which is free. You can get a free copy right there, and it's and then the whole journey begins. Oh, okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, so if you have that book, if you have Nightblade, the book that we're working on now is book 6 in that series. Oh, really? You found me out of a Facebook ad. Well, there you go. Welcome, welcome. I'm always glad when that happens. Thanks so much, Cade. I really appreciate it. Drop by anytime. Yeah, you're literally working, Kristen. You don't have to feel bad. Oh my god, I can't believe we're actually working on this book. Feels good, man. I'm gonna go grab coffee. I also think I need to get away from my computer screen for a sec. Be right back. Bum. Rob's trying to learn Savior? Like by Rise Against? Are you guys Rise Against fans? Have we already talked about this? Are we going to go see Rise Against in concert together? Sorry, that escalated quickly. I don't know if you guys would like me in concert. I might be a douchey concert person. Yay, Cade! Fucking love Rise Against. So good. That makes me super excited. I'm gonna after today's stream, like right after today's stream, I'm gonna go get my guitar. So knowing that that they are on Rocksmith, I'm excited. Hey, Bodegazilla. Yeah, no, of course that won't be my first song. I'm probably just gonna spend my first like 100 hours on that game just doing the practice stuff, all of the extra stuff that they teach you. Of course, knowing me, I'll probably actually get impatient and try to play a really simple song. So I am legitimately sorry to hear that, Bodegazilla. I know it's not easy to tell from the laughter, but you do have a funny way of putting things. After all, Mini rant, barely even a rant. Books have themes. Books have themes. If you think your book doesn't have a theme, it still does. People will pull themes out of your book. They might pull themes out of your book that you didn't intend, but they will pull themes out of your book. You may as well be conscious of what those themes are and make conscious decisions regarding those themes. Because thematic storytelling is better storytelling. It boggles my mind when I hear people say that theme doesn't matter, or you can't control themes anyway, or whatever. It's literally like saying, in my mind, it's literally like saying, well, characters don't matter. People, like readers will like characters or not, totally on their own decision. You can't do anything to influence it, yada, yada, yada. It's like, no. Sometimes, yes, the audience will like a character that you didn't, that you're like, what the fuck? I'm sure J.K. Rowling looks at all of the people who love Seamus and is like, and there are people who fucking love Seamus. And I'm sure she's like, I mean, yeah, cool, whatever, I guess. I don't really, like... but that doesn't mean that you don't try and build good characters. Yeah. Oh, awesome, Bodegazilla. Gary the guard. I have a third nipple. Welcome to the city. So a sub theme we've got to play with is what happened is the consequences of what happened to Chet in the last book. We have to deal with that. Thank you, Nightbot. Hey, what's up, Green? Yup, I'm pretty stoked. Pretty stoked. Yeah, I still have a couple books that I need to read through, but literally it's just reading them silently off stream. Like right now I'm about halfway through Weremage, and I'm literally reading it with a pen and taking notes in pen on the oh, you can't. And taking notes in pen like on the book itself. And then like so that sort of thing is going to be happening. But that is, not something I have to do on stream at all. Okay, so the first sentence is basically Act 1, and the disaster at the end is the end of Act 1 and the break into 2. So what is Act 2 in this book? From an act structure, what are we looking at as the big things? Hey, Clooney Man, we're working on a new book. Can you believe it? I mean, I say good guy necro, but it's complicated. I'm not trying to do gender neutral pronouns just to be confusing, like to hide whether the necromancer is a guy or a girl. And I'm not doing it to I'm actually, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm not doing it for political correctness. I'm doing it because the identity of the necromancer is a little confusing without explaining the whole thing. Like, if you don't know the whole story, it's it's like one day it will make sense, I swear. One day everything will make sense. Hey, what's up, Sam? Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have come to really like the glasses myself. I think they work. Oh yeah, I keep meaning to check that out. I'm gonna have to once I start getting into the research and real like development of this book. Yeah, Scrivener is still the best writing and formatting app available, but they are not stepping their game up enough. There is a meteor on the horizon, and they are not doing anything to shoot it down. I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Doot, 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 doot. Yeah, Story Shop is what Story Shop the Story Shop that originally got kickstarted has now been changed into story has now been renamed Story Shop Planner. And that is what it is. It is a planning and outlining tool. It does do writing poorly, but they are developing Story Shop Writer, which is supposed to be the ultimate writing tool, which then integrates with Story Shop Planner. Why don't I see Sim Lover? What's happening? Oh, hey, Sim Lover. I thought you were Sam, because you're both red, and it was Sim Lover right next to Sam. Fuck you, Kristen. Yes, exactly, Haley. That's what I feel. Oh no, Haley. I feel your pain. Green, Terry Pratchett is basically one of the best authors in history, so please read as much of him as you possibly can. Good reviews do not equal a good book. Just saying. If you want my personal recommendation, start with The We Free Men. It is probably his most popular book, and it's the start of his most popular series set in the world of Discworld, and it's a great introduction to all of it. I mean, I would never call anything by Pratchett a young adult book, even though almost all of Discworld could be a young adult book. He doesn't do explicit sex, he doesn't do swearing. So like all of it could be young adult. Not that some young adult doesn't have explicit sex and swearing. But like The We Free Men is not young adult. I mean, in terms of its themes, its vocabulary, it's not an easy read. It's not a difficult read, but it's not like, I don't know. Thank you, Nightbot. I'm not very focused today. Sam, as far as the subscription thing, and is anything I buy in the future going to be really bought? Here's the deal. Software is a service, right? Like, how do you put this? Software is like it is a service. It isn't a product. And treating it as a product when Adobe, for example, had Photoshop for $2,000 and all that sort of thing, made it, and then you had to, but then you had to buy it again every time they upgraded and everything like that. Like, we can always buy things, and that's what, and that's what we how do you put this? You can buy a thing that is unchanging and is a finished and completed product. Software is never a finished and completed product. Even Scrivener isn't. It has bugs. It has problems. It has things that don't work. And the reason those things never get changed, or rarely, very fucking slowly get changed, is because you bought a complete product. A quote-unquote complete product. Except it's not. It's fucked up. It's broken. Now, that doesn't mean that all computer things should be treated that way. For example, a video game, or other pieces of media, digital media. A video game, a book, a film. A film is done. When you get it, there's not going to be there's no bug with the film. If there's a bug, it's a bug with the program that delivers the film to you. Yeah, and like that just doesn't that exactly what Kristen says. When you buy a product straight, you buy the product at that time. A subservice for a product allows you to have a constantly evolving product instead of just the one. And like, why would you buy, like, it would make no sense to me to buy a product at that time, because the entire world is evolving constantly all the time. So what if in the future there was a way to make food a subscription service? Food is a subscription service. You always have to go and buy more. And the money that you go to putting into food enables the process of creating more food for you. And software works the same way. The money that you put into the software enables them to keep creating not only that software, but future software that then enables you to do more. Yeah, like there are food subscription services. And it's probably more efficient, you know, in the grand scheme of things. It's probably a much more efficient model for feeding people and as a consumer for getting fed. Like, the amount of logistics that go into a grocery store is crazy. You need all of the preservation and the this, that, and the other thing. If everyone in my should the app boys get bored and stop building it, you're SOL. I mean, sure, theoretically, except that then you can cancel your subscription at any time. As opposed to, like, if you just buy a program once and you pay for it, and then they decide to never upgrade it, you're even more SOL. And that scenario is far more likely to happen. Witness Scrivener. They never fucking upgrade the thing because they can't. They have no constant income stream. Not no constant income stream, but their income stream sucks. So they could be the best writing app in the world, but they're not because they don't have enough money to be. And they don't seem to be super interested in it either. I mean, that much power, I don't see it as that much power. I see it as that much power if you're the only game in town. But like, if I did have a food subscription service, if I was subscribed to a, farmer or a farm collective or something like that in my area, and then they sucked, then I could switch to another one if multiple options existed. But then there is the whole monopoly thing and everything like that. And yeah, if there's a monopoly, that sucks, but monopolies suck no matter what. And yeah, you're totally correct, Haley. And the thing is that Story Shop can do that. You can always, at any time, take everything you've done in Story Shop and export it, download it to your computer. I think you can export it directly to a Scrivener file. If not, you can definitely export it to a text file like Word or something like that. Like that's one of their things is like, yo, you can always take everything you've done and pull it out of the app and just back it up. Just boom. Anytime you want. You've got your whole book there, and if one day you decide, yo, I don't like Story Shop anymore, I don't want to do it, well, if you couldn't do that, you'd lose everything you've ever done. Your whole book, your whole plot, your outline, your characters, everything like that. So you go, I don't like Story Shop anymore. Download what you got, cancel your subscription. It's a tool that you pay for while you're using it. I get what you're saying, Bodegazilla. The last Scrivener update was December, but what the fuck did they fix? Can I export from Scrivener to InDesign yet? No? Well, then what? Like, they fixed a bug. They fixed some UI issues. Big fucking deal. Scrivener is not monumentally more powerful than it was, before that update. How does a subservice benefit anyone but the manufacturer? I mean, I don't know about you. I never purchased an Adobe product. Ever. I couldn't. I didn't have $2,000 to spend. And I didn't have $2,000 worth of room on credit cards to buy Photoshop, and another $2,000 for Premiere, and another $2,000 for InDesign, and another $2,000 for Dreamweaver, and another $2,000 for Illustrator, and another $2,000 for Adobe After Effects. But I needed all those programs. So what did I do? I pirated them. I got them for free. Adobe got zero money. And if I got a bug or a virus, which happened all the time, when you pirate things, you get bugs and viruses. How could I fix it? I couldn't. I'd have to reinstall and reformat my hard drive all the time. Like, I can't buy top of the line stuff, but I can subscribe to it. And I get updates, like they update the fucking program like once a month. I had a bug come up in Photoshop and it was making part of my text disappear, and then I was like, oh, there's a new edition of Photoshop, and I upgraded to the new edition of Photoshop and the bug disappeared. Whereas, like, you don't get tech support when you pirate software. And I had pirated everything. I had pirated Adobe After Effects and yada yada yada. And I would go and I would look at tutorials on Adobe After Effects. And they were like, okay, so now you want to use this feature. And it was like, oh, cool. The pirated version of Adobe After Effects is 2 versions behind this version. And so I can't do this feature. So this thing that I'm trying to learn how to do in Adobe After Effects. Yes, thank you, Meg. Yeah, I mean, and I'll never say that somebody can't sell something or sell a product or sell a piece of software if they don't want to. I just think it's an inherently inferior business model. And it's dying. Pretty much everything is turning into subscription services, you know? What with Netflix and then, you know, Kindle Unlimited? Like, people talk about like the whole thing with Kindle Unlimited and like going Amazon exclusive and all that sort of stuff. That debate actually gets me angry because people are like, well, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. I'm like, why the fuck would I put my eggs in Apple's basket when it comes to books? Why the fuck would I put my eggs in iBooks basket? The basket is built out of dental floss. It's got holes all over the place, and I am expected to reinforce their shitty basket so that my eggs don't break. And after I reinforce it so that my eggs don't fall out, then I have to cushion their shitty basket so my eggs don't break. And meanwhile, Amazon's like, yo, we have a golden plush velvet basket, and if you put your eggs in it, they automatically self-multiply. And iBooks is like, oh, we have a basket too. And of course, it might shatter your eggs. And da da da. And that's the same with Barnes & Noble. Kobo is a good basket to be in. They're just not as good as Amazon. They're not their good basket is not enough to, hey, what's up, Chayton / Richie? I'm gonna change you to Richie just because I want to call you something. And Chayton is always weird. And so that's the thing is like, oh, well, you know, you don't want to give Amazon too much power. You know who I don't want to give power? Fucking iBooks. Fuck them. Their whole infrastructure sucks. Their whole corporate structure sucks. Okay, I'll focus. I will save it for a YouTube video. Actually, it's a good point. Hey, what's up, Felix? Uh-oh. Am I in trouble, Meg? What are you going to do about it? Hey, baby girl. I'm pretty good. We are working on a new book for the first time in a really long time. I don't know if you can hear my wife in the next room, but she went woo woo really loud. All right, later, Sam. Thanks for coming by. Good to talk. Oh, yay! That's evolution going, and fuck you in particular, good sir. Oh, thank you so much, baby girl. I'm glad to hear that. Ah. Okay, so the end of this book is going to be an up note, kind of. There's going to be a victory and a decision. There's going to be a sense of purpose. There's also going to be some terrible things that happen in this book. I'm just warning you. No spoilers, but I'm writing Yerrin, which is the 6th book in the Nightblade series. So if you just read Nightblade, that's book 1, and I'm working on book 6. So the end of the book is going to be an up note, which means that the midpoint needs to be a down note. Got our paragraph done. Bam. Characters. Whoops. Any other major characters need this treatment? Step 3. The above gives you the high-level view of your novel. Now you need something similar for the storylines of each of your characters. Characters are the most important part of any novel. Yeah, okay. And the time you invest in designing them... I dislike that statement. I dislike that characters are the most important part of any novel, because what makes good characters, or the best characters, in my opinion, is usually a good story. Because there are really good, in-depth, well-rounded, well-defined characters that don't have anything happen, so you never get to see all of the work that the author has done. So the reason I dislike the statement, characters are the most important part of any novel, I know I've talked about this before, but it seems to imply that you can have good characters independent of a good story. And I don't think you can. Does not happen in my experience. The characters in the novel The Goldfinch were clearly intensely designed, well put together. There was a lot of authorial intent and development and work. It was clear, it was evident in the page, the way they spoke, the way the book was written. And yet, because nothing fucking happens in that book, they didn't actually emerge as good characters. It was like a self-masturbatory... Well, is self-masturbatory redundant? That time I had to look up the definition of masturbation. But you can't you masturbate somebody else? Are we talking about this? Is this happening? But my point is, how can you have good characters without a good story? I can't think of an example where the characters are really good and the story sucks. We're having two very different conversations right now. Yeah, I suppose okay. So I see one like extremely good reason why. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So doing it to somebody else is not. Okay, gotcha. Good. Yep. So yes, that book was entirely masturbatory. I mean, I don't want to get into too much detail, Felix, but it's most of the time it's been the other way around. Okay, so anyway, back on point. Characters are the most important part of any novel, and the time you invest in designing them up front will pay off tenfold when you start writing. For each of your major characters, take an hour and write a one-page summary sheet that tells the character's name, a one-sentence summary of the character's storyline, the character's motivation, what does he/she want abstractly, the character's goal, what does he/she want concretely, the character's conflict, which prevents him/her from reaching this goal, the character's epiphany, what will he/she learn, how will he/she change, a one-paragraph summary of the character's storyline. An important point, you may find that you need to go back and revise your one-sentence summary and or your one-page summary. Go ahead. This is good. It means your characters are teaching you things about your story. It's always okay at any stage of the design process to go back and revise earlier stages. In fact, it's not just okay, it's inevitable. And it's good. Any revisions you make now are revisions you won't need to make later onto a clunky 400-page manuscript. Another important point, it doesn't have to be perfect. The purpose of each step in the design process is to advance you to the next step. Keep your forward momentum. You can always come back later and fix it when you understand the story better. You will do this too, unless you're a lot smarter than I am. Yeah, I'm reading it for the education of... Oh, I read it every time. And like, when I'm off stream after stream today, I'm gonna go reread the entirety of Save the Cat. I reread that entire book every time I write I'm starting a new novel. It would have been September, Green. That's the last time that I wrote. I haven't written new stuff since then. There's a paperback version of the Snowflake book? Oh man. Can you order 2 copies, Kristen? That was a yawn, Megan. I gotta take a bathroom break. I'll be right back. I'm not muted. I unmuted myself. I sat down and spoke very loudly, and I left it muted while I did that to spare you all from my rather strident tone. Felix! That sounds like Kristen. Oh, no fair to post them in private messages, Kristen. Come on, share it with the group. We can't torment each other behind closed doors. I am focusing. Look at me focus. Look at all this. Look at all this focus. Focus. I'm so focused. Why do I have the Edward Van Cleef song stuck in my head? Yeah, probably a good idea, Green. I actually learned the snowflake method from the online blog post about it, but that's a summarized version, and the book is uh, probably going to have more information, especially if you're not familiar with outlining procedures, sort of in general. Oh, the struggle is real, Felix. The struggle is real. Oh, thanks, Carl. Can I scroll a little bit? What do you mean? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, I didn't think about that. Um, there, that should solve things. Fuck, this is going to be a really, really difficult book to do without multiple POVs. And we're going to have to use... I know how we're going to do it, but it's going to be... Oh, man, this is going to be tough. No, I'm not. I think it would be a bad idea to change that in this series, especially at this point. Nightblade and the Academy Journals are kind of necessarily single POV stories at by now. Well, we have very fortunately established a couple of conventions in the Nightblade Epic that we can use to fake other POVs. A similar storytelling device was actually used in Harry Potter, so that every once in a while you got Voldemort's POV in a very weird way, but a similar storytelling device. The story can be told. Hey, Kristen, this story can be told with one POV. It could theoretically I could do the whole thing without ever leaving Lauren's direct immediate POV. I think that would, one, be much harder, and two, even if I did it the best I possibly could, I think it would be less effective. So I have to find a way to fake another POV while maintaining the story construction that my readers have come to expect, which can be done. It's just going to require careful work. I'm glad, Cade. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Thank you very much, Cade. I have an invader. You want to come say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Do you like your haircut?
Yeah.
Do you like my haircut?
Yeah.
Do you like my glasses?
Yeah. Do you like?
Do you like tickles?
Do you like candy?
This guy just turned 3, and his older brother is 5, and his older sister is 7. Okay, I gotta finish up, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Close the door on your way out, buddy. Come on.
No.
I gotta finish work. I'm only gonna be another 5 minutes, and I'll come downstairs and we'll have lunch together, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Mommy.
I'm not mommy, I'm daddy. Go hang out with mommy.
I don't want to.
Go blow on mommy's belly.
No. Hus taking a shower.
Oh, she's taking a shower.
Yeah.
Go blow her kisses. Close the door on your way out.
No, Dad.
You. Okay, and that's it for today. Did the first two steps of the snowflake. Also did the first 2 character outlines, with more to go. I am probably not going to stream writing again today because I get to go get my guitar. But that is a process. I have found an unstrung, questionable quality guitar in a local pawn shop. So first I have to go buy that, then I have to take it to a guitar place and get it strung, or maybe buy strings and string it myself. And also have them check out my bass to see if that can be repaired or not, etc., etc., etc. So, but hey, we did 4 hours of work on a new book today. A new book. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Hi there.
Okay, Jess, come on out.
I am definitely not going to play for y'all today. I do plan on doing some guitar practice on stream at some point, but I literally have not touched my bass in maybe 4 years, maybe 6 years. I think it's 6 years. I haven't touched my bass in 6 years, and I haven't touched a guitar in maybe 10. So I'm going to get some of my basics down before I am anywhere close to, yeah. So, anyway, thank you, Nightbot. Why aren't Twitch emotes working all of a sudden? That's bizarre. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for coming and hanging out. A new book is happening, y'all. It's very exciting. Don't forget, we got the audiobook. No? Nothing? Hold on here. All right. Don't forget the audiobook came out today. It's pretty awesome. I've listened to it already. It's really, really good. And if you get the ebook, you can get the audiobook for $3.49. Somehow, I still don't understand, but there you go. Thank you so much for being here for the beginning of a new book. Y'all are awesome, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye!